Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the grey. Today's video, we're going to talk getting started with the Middle-earth strategy battle game, and today we're going to talk about none other than Thorin's company. Now in this video, we're going to go through the army special rule for Thorin's company before looking at all the models that can be included in this war band, in this army, and then have a look at a sample army list of 1,000 points showing you how you can get Thorin's company onto the table. So with that said, the special rule we get for this force is I would take each and every one of these dwarves over an army from the Iron Hills, for when I called upon them, they answered. Such a cool line in the movie, but and indeed in the books, but models from this army list may reroll to wound rolls of a 1 whilst within 3 inch of Thorin Oakenshield. So just a nice central part to your army, one of your big characters, he's going to be able to provide, a nice little buff around him. Super simple, compared to something like the White Council where it's a bunch of characters and there's a ton of special rules to add. This is really quite simple in how you put this all together. And so here we have the singular box set you will need to get everything you can need ever to possibly run any combination and any variation besides the mounted on ponies and horses and stuff like that you'll need. So this is the Thorin's Company box set. It contains Thorin Oakenshield, all the dwarves, Bilbo, and indeed Gandalf the Grey. So a fantastic place to pick up everything you need. But first of all, we have those two heroes of legend, and the first of them is Thorin Oakenshield. He is a nice fight value of 6 with a 4+ shoot value. Defense 8 is amazing with 3 attacks, 3 wounds, and 3 of each might, will, and fate. Now, he's got a couple of special weapons and special equipment. The first of these being Orcus, which is an elven-made sword, and when it causes a wound on an Orc, Goblin, or Urukai, it causes not 1 but D3 instead. And he's also got the Oakenshield, which is a shield, and should Thorin opt to use for striking, he can make a single strike at his base strength with the Oakenshield. He can actually punch out with it, which is pretty cool. Now, Gandalf the Grey obviously brings some much-needed magic to this force. He's got a ton of spells like Blinding Light, Collapse Rocks, Command, Immobilize, Protection of the Valor, Sorcerer's Blast, Strength and Will, and Terrifying Aura. He's a great force multiplier for this force where Thorin, definitely is going to be right in the thick of it. Gandalf can start using his abilities across the table where you need them. It's going to be an incredibly important piece for the force. He's also got, a bunch of might, will, and fate. He's got actually 6 points of will to begin with, but he also has his wizard staff, which means he can spend 1 point of will per turn for free. And then, he's got a couple of other things. So he's got his nice little ring as well, Narnia, where he can re-roll the dice when making fate rolls, and Glamdring as well, which is an elven-made hand-and-a-half sword, which increases his strength by 1 when making strikes with it. Now, we start looking into the other characters, and first of all, we have Bilbo Baggins. Bilbo Baggins is a nice little smaller character for the Force, but he does have the 1 ring, which is cool, and with this, the power has not yet awakened, so he's not actually removed if he's the only model left on the table. Now, other than that, he's also got Sting as well, which is his elven-made dagger. It gives him +1 to his strength as well. Now, Bilbo, as a hobbit, will have resistance to magic, and he can throw stones as well, which is pretty cool. The two sort of more powerful dwarves in the Force, first of all, that are heroes of Valen, we have Balin the dwarf first of all. Balin has his sword and mace. He can also have his armor, which is really nice, and he generally, with his defense 5, fight value 4, is probably one of the more fighty of the next sort of line of dwarves. We also, I guess, have the really fighty one, which is Dwalin. Dwalin has that 5-6, strength 5, defense 6. He's really going to want and get up in there. A great, fantastic character. And he's also got Burly as well, with that 2-handed weapon and weapon master abilities as well. The rest of the dwarves sort of fall into line here. So we've got, a ton of them. We've got Bofa the dwarf. His big thing is going to be Piercing Strike and Steadfast. Bomber the dwarf as well will have Lumbering and Beefy and Raising Spirits. He's really good at bringing everyone up around him. And all the dwarves have these sort of tiny special rules that all sort of make them come together and be something better than the sum of the parts, considering most of them have a fight value of 4, 5, defense 5. So defense is definitely something you've got a lot going for you in this party. But here we have our sample army list for you. Now, this is pretty easy. This includes everything in that box set and will get you 1,000 points right out the get-go. So a fantastic way to get you a full force on the table. In here, we've got Gandalf the Grey, and we've got Thorin Oakenshield, making sure he's got Oakenshield and the Oakenshield. The big upgrades here are going to be on Bilbo, who has Sting and the One Ring. And Bilbo will have the One Ring unless there is a Sauron on the table, which is pretty cool, or an Isildur. So someone from before when he gets it, but... you've also got Balin, you've got Dwalin in there, and you've got all the dwarves, everyone included, which makes it a perfect 1,000 points, which is just awesome. For me, this is, a really simple army to pick up for the force, and it can be really fun to play. It's a really character-driven force with a bunch of fun pieces that all do, nice little niche sort of things. Nothing is too over the top on any of sort of the secondary dwarves, but it really is a fun force to play. If you've got some games in with Thorin's company, let us know how it's been going down in the comments below. And so that is the end of the video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And while you're at it, why don't you go join our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description, where we have a bunch of amazing members of our little community here on the internet, chatting away hobby and all other things as well. With that said, if you'd like to help support the channel as well, you can do so either by Patreon or YouTube members, or by grabbing yourself some merch, and you'll get, yourself something in the process as well. The merch can also be found in links along with Patreon and YouTube members down in the video's description at Ko-fi and Teespring. As a special thank you to our Patreon and YouTube members, we'd like to give them all a shout out. So thank you to our Patreons, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Swallows, Red Martin, Iron Grinch, Nicholas Conomos, and Colorblind Magic, and to our YouTube members Green Roots Gaming, Ronya, Lock Lorick, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Mankiller, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Wire, James South, and James Tillman. Lastly, a special thanks to Lady Weeks Fox Art, who does all the amazing artwork for the channel, and to everyone who helps and comes and makes the battle reports possible on the channel, along with all our moderators on both the YouTube and the Discord server. Thank you all once again, everyone. Stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.